What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's had a great Tuesday. Make sure you hit that like, share, comment, and subscribe for Gamecock content that I do as much as I can throughout the season during my free time. So thank you guys for checking out Gamecock Chuck's channel. I appreciate it if you guys do all them things as far as subscribe and all that. I appreciate it so much. But let's go ahead and jump into this. What kind of impact will Coach Elliott have on the offensive line? You know, I listened to Coach Beamer's press conference today, and to be quite honest with you, to me it sounded like he was a little more upbeat, a little more relieved, a little more energetic. To me, it does. Maybe I misinterpreted. Y'all let me know if you want to. But to me, it sounded like he was a little more upbeat about it. I think what transpired Sunday, you know, the firing of Coach Teasley kind of, I guess, probably was a sense of relief on him because, let's be honest, the offensive line has been atrocious. Hell, even before Beamer got here, even during the Muschamp years, our offensive line was something to be desired as far as performance-wise. Never really had a true, good, solid offensive line. And I get all the injuries and transfer, portal takeaways or whatever. I get all that. I do. But, we've been recruiting. We've got some talent in there, some we got 5-star offensive linemen, we got some 4-star offensive linemen. We got some dudes. We got some dudes that has been here several years now. So if it ain't the coach, then is it the player? Do we need to start getting rid of the players? No, I don't think so. I don't think we should punish these athletes if they're not being developed. And I think that was the main issue with this. I think the players just haven't been developed right. And, listening to Coach Beamer's press conference today, somebody asked him about, a difference that of what Coach Elliott will bring to the offensive line room versus what Coach Teasley would. And basically he said, probably the way that Coach Elliott's going to teach it or teach the techniques is going to be different than the way Coach Teasley taught the techniques. The verbiage, the scheme is all going to be the same. It's just the manner of which it's going to be taught. Now, whether or not these young men want to be developed, want to take in the knowledge, that's up to them. You can only you can only teach someone to do something. It's up to them to decide whether or not they're going to do it. And if they decide not to do it, then that's on them. That's a different discussion between the head coach and that student athlete. But he basically said the way that Coach Elliott's going to teach it is different, like night and day from the way Coach Teasley's going to teach it. And anybody that's been around South Carolina program, that's been a fan of the Gamecocks, that know who Shawn Elliott is, y'all know what kind of person he is. He is a fiery, passionate coach, whether it's head coach, whether it's an offensive line coach, whether it's a tight ends coach. The man's got passion, fire, tenacity, whatever you want to say. He brings it, okay? I don't know how many of y'all remember it, but this dude one time headbutted somebody with their helmet on. It had a helmet on, and his head was bleeding. So this man brings the fire, brings the passion. And I think that might be what these young men need. Might need somebody that has that passion, somebody they can mold their game mold their game around, take on that role. Like, you hear a lot about players take on the personality of the coach. Maybe maybe having Shawn Elliott and that fire and that passion, maybe these young men will get that. Maybe they'll take on the personality of Coach Elliott. But like I said, if y'all know who Coach Elliott is, you should be thrilled about this. You should be. I mean, I can't tell you how to feel, but I am myself. Sports Talk with a Deal Maker, Jackpot, Rooster, all us. We've been screaming at the top of our lungs, beating this drum about the offensive line. And we've said it numerous times that there's a guy on staff at the running backs, or not the running back, the tight ends coach / run game coordinator, and that's Shawn Elliott. He's been on the staff since 2024, brought him in from Georgia State. And I don't know many head coaches out there at any level that will step down from a head coaching role because he had it good at Georgia State. He had some good years there at Georgia State. And but I don't know any that will step away from a head coaching job to be a tight ends coach slash run game coordinator. Usually they do that. They're going for a better head coaching job or slash offensive, defense, special teams coordinator. One of them things. They don't go for to be a tight end coach. Now we all know Coach Elliot is a South Carolina native. Grew up right there in Camden, South Carolina, less than half an hour from Columbia. So right down the road from Williams-Brice. So he's a diehard Gamecock through and through. I mean, he's been on the staff. He was on the staff in 2010 to 2015 under the Coach Spurrier years. He led the offensive line then. Everybody knows what kind of offensive line we had then. They were a nasty, mean, big, physical offensive line that would put hands on body and move them. But he was here during that time. He also spent a year, or let me backtrack. When Spurrier up and quit mid-season in 2015, he was named the interim head coach. We all know how that played out because, if you lose to the Citadel as a head coach like that, as an interim, you're more than likely not going to get a job. I was kind of hoping he would get the job, but that's not for me to make the call. So we moved on and hired Muschamp, and of course we all know how that fiasco went. But Elliott was the offensive line coach for a year under Muschamp. Like I said, prior to him taking to the Georgia State job, and before he even came to Columbia in 2010, from 2001 to 2009, he was the offensive line coach at Appalachian State. And anybody that follows football knows what happened in the Big House whenever Appalachian State went up there and knocked off. I think they were number 5, Michigan. I know they were a top 10 team, but I think they were number 5 in the country. I may be wrong on that, but he was on staff whenever they did that. He was the offensive line coach during that game, and he's always, wherever he's been, he's put together a solid offensive line. And I think by promoting him, I think he's going to do a great job, a wonderful job. I know he will at South Carolina while he's in charge of the offensive line position. I really do. I'm excited for it. Looking forward to seeing what he can do with it. And like I said, and like I've heard from people, and I've talked to some people that that's played college football, played some high school football, things like that. That you can't make the drastic changes that this offensive line needs overnight or within 4 days, which is what we got until 4 days from yesterday. I guess you could say Monday. No, 4 days from today. Yeah, I can't even count right now. But you can't make drastic changes like that. It's going to fix things overnight prior to the Oklahoma game coming up Saturday. So it's going to be like probably little steps here, little steps there. That's going to be you should be able to start seeing the little bit of progression as the weeks progress throughout the year, and hopefully by the end of the season you can tell a big difference in this offensive line and what Coach Teasley was in charge of here or for the Gamecocks. So, I've said this before. I said it on the live Sunday whenever we, myself and Sports Talk with the Dealmaker, did our lives. But we don't want to see nobody ever get fired. But in that profession, as far as coaching and sports like that, it's a what have you done, results driven profession. Okay, if you can't get the job done, then hard choices have to be made, hard decisions have to be made by the head coach, and that's what Beamer eventually finally did. Now, it surprised myself and several other YouTubers that I know that he did this firing midseason, because that's something that Beamer don't do. We were expecting this like at the end of the season, or we was at least hoping changes was coming by the end of the season. But I guess Beamer, over the last several years and up through 6 games this year, I think I think he figured out that, hey, a change needed to be made, and he made it. And we'll see if it plays out the way that we think it can, as most Gamecock fans have a lot of faith in Coach Elliott and believe he is the right man for this job. So, but Coach Teasley, during his 3 years, I mean, I don't want to really dog on it as far as stats, but you know, our offensive line gave up over 100 sacks while he was in charge of it, and that's something that's unacceptable when you have two really good quarterbacks in Spencer Rattler, which is now starting for the New Orleans Saints, which nobody thought would ever see that he would be a starter in the NFL, but he is. He's a starter for the Saints. And then Lenore Sellers, what we got on the team now. Both these young men were running for their lives while they was here and while they're here, and we got to protect them. We got to protect them. Got to do a better job to protect them, and that starts with the offensive line coach to get the schemes right, to get the technique right, to teach these guys the right way to do it, to motivate them to want to do it, and go out there and perform and put it out on the field week in and week out. So, but. Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited for Coach Elliott, ready to see what he can do. So if you guys feel the same way I do, get in the comments, let me know. If you don't, let me know as well. If y'all think this is the wrong move, hey, let me know. Share it. Make sure you hit the like, comment, like I said, subscribe. Hit that hype button to hype this video on YouTube. And, hopefully I'll see you guys Friday night. I do a live preview and prediction. We'll be talking about the Oklahoma game, which will be Saturday at 12:45 at Williams-Brice Stadium. So come join me Friday night as me and my co-host, my friend, Sports Talk with a Deal Maker will be here Friday night at 8 o'clock to talk about that game and give our thoughts. So come hang out with us then. And also go subscribe to his channel. And as he's trying to start up his YouTube channel again, because he deleted it and now he's trying to start over fresh. So subscribe to his channel, help him out, grow it back up. And like I said, come hang out with us, get in the chat that we have, and just let us know you're there, and let's have a good time and talk some Gamecock football. So I hope to see you on Friday, and I hope I get y'all subscription, and I hope I get you to like this video. If you do, I appreciate it so much. If not, I understand. This channel's not for everybody. So with that being said, y'all have a good evening, and I will see you guys in the next one.